Good evening. How is everybody doing on this lovely Monday evening? We are getting into week 13 and we are stepping into week 13 in the strongest way, you guys. You know how this thing goes. It's been a long time. 13 whole weeks. It's getting so high I can't count anymore, but I'm going to try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's a lot. At first, it was like 1, 2, 3. We are up at 13 weeks that we have been together convening around a love of literacy, community, culture, all of these things that bring us together during this COVID-19 crisis as it started out when the school shut down. And now so many things are going on in this world. So many things are going on in our community. And we are still here with this community that we have built. You guys see to the is going to be the left for you guys. Y'all see to the left of me these lovely faces that I have tonight, two of our influencers. You guys, if they don't know, remind them who you are.
I am Q. I'm one of the influencers.
Q, you gotta say you're Professor Q.
I'm Professor Q, and I'm one of the influencers.
And I'm Miss Star gave me Trinity times 3 because my name is Trinity. So that's me. And I'm also one of the 2020 influencers.
All right. And it's 3 times dope. That's who you are. She is Trinity. So she is 3 times dope, y'all. Not 1 time dope, but 1, 2, 3 times dope. All right. So these are our Virtual Village 2020 influencers. If you guys don't know about them, then you need to be here on Wednesday evenings because they come through. It's a total of 6 of them. They are high school students. They are interns and they are blazing past. They come with the heat on the topics that are relevant to Generation Z and to all of us. They are teaching adults up here and it's really, really phenomenal. Wednesdays at 7 is when you can check them out. Now, before we go any further, you guys know what we got to do. So we're going to do that right now. Okay.
Look, mommy, community in action. But oh my, let us sound of that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. But oh my, let us sound of that. Creative, affirming, and culture for me too. Look, granny, and let us sound of that. Look, granny, and let us sound of that. Look, granny, and let us sound of that. Learning and exploring about history, you see. Look, mommy, and let us sound of that. We confident, we practice and developing fluency. Look, daddy, and let us sound of that. Families, they bonding and representing me. Look, granny, and let us sound of that. Look, auntie, and let us sound of that. Nice, I see, and let us sound of that. I'm so reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while we represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down where they have to sit. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while you represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down, yeah, they have to sit. Look, mommy, community in action. Well, oh my, let us sound of that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. Well, oh my, let us sound of that. Creative, affirming, culture for me too. Look, granny, let us sound of that.
And we are back. Forever loving the sound of that theme song. I know you guys love that too. Yes, yes. So
every day.
Yes, y'all know that is my what?
Her ringtone.
That is my ringtone. Get enough of that. Original theme song. So you guys know that before we do what you guys are in here for, we got a few house cleaning things that we have to go over. Some in-house things we want to remind you guys. You know that we are selling merch, right? We have the merchandise for you guys to commemorate our time as a virtual village family, okay? So we got the t-shirts, all right? So it's a great way for us to come together as a family to represent what we all have built here when we come together, for all of these 13 weeks. And we have gotten to know one another, to build community, build relationships in different states, in different cities, all across this country. So here they are. You check out these t-shirts. If you are interested in ordering a t-shirt, supporting the organization, you can go to clevercommunities.org and click shop and order your shirt right now. This is our last week for pre-orders. This is the last week. Make sure you go and you go to clevercommunities.org shop and get you one of those t-shirts. You guys, these are limited edition. You can represent the literacy game. Okay, you can represent the virtual logo, or you can represent how we came together around literacy, culture, community, and love. All right. Last week, the pre-order. So y'all go up there and make that happen. All right. All proceeds go to benefit Clever Communities in Action and our Virtual Village 2020 influencers. So you don't want to miss out on that. What do you guys think about this merchandise we have?
I love it. I'm ready to get my shirt. I'm ready.
Yes, definitely. We appreciate everybody who has supported thus far. Some of you guys have been hitting us up about how so excited you are to represent with the t-shirts. So that is awesome. We can't wait to get them out to you guys. We'll be shipping next week. So everybody who is pre-ordered, we start shipping those shirts out next week. So now, let's remind everybody, because a lot has been going on since we first got started. This 2020 is like a historic year for so many different reasons. It started out with one reason and another reason and another reason. So let's remind everybody, Q, what are the founding principles of this Virtual Village 2020? What are we about? What is the main thing that we are focusing on?
We want to promote literacy to the youth, specifically culturally affirming literacy, especially with the time of students being out of school. We want to keep pushing reading to them, make sure that they stay up in the books and they see characters that look like them.
There it is, perfectly stated. That's what Virtual Village 2020's influencers do. We are all about making sure that children are reading books where they see themselves positively represented. We, from day one, A1, have been promoting history, culture, pride in who we are, and motivating children to enjoy reading, because we do know that reading is the foundation of learning. Let's grab some comments real quickly. Of course, we have our precious baby girl, Shania. She says, good evening. How are you doing, Shania? We hope you are doing well, and good evening to you. If you guys missed it, Shania performed an original poem that she wrote last Thursday, and she also came up here to read, but her own poem outshadowed the book that she came to read, and she has now turned that into a performance arts piece. So you need to follow Get Like Shania and see that she put her poem into action. It's also posted on the Clever Communities in Action Facebook page. And she's only 10 years young. And then we have Eric James, who said, hello with the fire. Yes, hi, Eric. How are you doing? We hope you are doing well. So with that said, you guys, it's all about the literacy. So we are going to bring on our first guest. As I said, we've had guest readers from all different walks of life in all different states around this country. We are based in Hampton Roads, but we have readers coming from all around the country. So the reader we have tonight is actually from my home state of Alabama. Y'all know I represent VA all day, but it's like I have a dual love. I'm from Alabama. I'm from the dirty South. Okay. So our first reader tonight, again, is a friend of mine from not my hometown, but my home state, right outside of my hometown. So we are going to bring up Mr. Sayram Selassie.
Good evening. Good evening.
How are you doing, Mr. Selassie?
Hey, I am doing well. Just so very excited to be on this program with you guys and just promoting all of those key components that you already mentioned. So I'm really excited. Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. We are very, very glad to have you here. So before you get started with the reading, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So again, my name is Sayram Selassie. I manage a nonprofit here in Oxford, Anderson, Alabama. It is called the Agency for Substance Abuse Prevention. I'm a real estate agent, so I help people find their dream homes and commercial property and residential property as well. And I guess I can say hello to Shania. Nice. Okay. It's new to me. And then I've served on the Anderson City Council as an elected official, and I'm running for my original seat again. So I dabble in politics a little as well. So again, I have a few things, a few hats that I wear, but again, I'm just very happy to be here with you guys this evening.
Excellent. That's a lot of great things that you are doing for our community. I feel like you left out some things in your extensive resume and all that you do for the community, but that is great what you did share with us. You guys, he does a lot. And he wanted you all to know that he is a passionate young man about the community. So he's not giving all of his credentials, but I'll say, you know, I'll give him a little toot toot beep beep. He's doing great work out here and has been on the ground for a long time. So we definitely appreciate you being here. And what book are you going to read for us tonight?
So the book that I have selected, it was actually a book that I actually met the author and he signed it for me, but it's called Jamal's Lucky Day. So I hope everyone can see that, Jamal's Lucky Day.
Okay. Well, that sounds interesting, you guys. He's reading about Jamal's Lucky Day. That's enough to, you know, make us curious about what happened. What was so lucky about Jamal's day? I want to know. Trinity, you want to know?
I want to know.
Are you want to know what's up with Jamal and his lucky day?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
All right, then. Well, we are going to step away and find about Jamal's lucky day. All right, then.
All right, so just start now, correct? Great. All right, Jamal's Lucky Day. This book is by Robert Little, and the illustrator is Audrey Fitzpatrick. So, and again, before I get started, I just want to say to all the young people that may be watching, this book is going to kind of talk about morals and character and, you know, integrity. And integrity, pretty much the definition of that is, what do you do when no one else is watching? So I want to get right into it. So one day while walking home from school, Jamal noticed an envelope on the sidewalk. When he stopped to take a closer look, he saw money sticking out of it. "Oh man, this is my lucky day," Jamal shouted with excitement. He was even more excited when he saw how much money it was. So as we can see, Jamal is walking and he finds an envelope laying there on the ground. With a big smile on his face, Jamal began to imagine all the things he could buy with the money. What he really wanted was a shiny new bicycle like the one his friend Buster had. Jamal had admired Buster's bike for a long time. Buster liked to make fun of Jamal's bike. He called Jamal's bike Big Rusty because it was big and had rusty spots where the paint had chipped. So again, already Jamal is envisioning himself getting that big, nice new bicycle because Buster was talking about his bike. As he daydreamed about a new bike, Jamal realized that he was being selfish. He was only thinking of himself. His mother was always telling him that he should think of others, so he decided to use the money to buy a dress for his mother and toys for his little sister and two brothers. The thought of doing something nice for his family brought a smile to Jamal's face. So now, which is something quite admirable, he's thinking about purchasing something for his brothers and sisters. Jamal was happy about his luck, but his excitement wore off as he wondered who could have lost the money. Jamal knew he had to decide whether to keep the money or to find out who had lost it. "Well, I found it, so it's mine," he mumbled. But he knew the person who lost the money would be very disappointed and was probably looking for it. Jamal stuffed the money into his pocket and tossed the envelope into the bushes. He continued to walk home, lost in thought. "Man, I don't know what to do," he said to himself. So as we can see, he's throwing the money into the bushes, trying to figure out what he should do with this lost money. That night, when Jamal went to bed, he was still thinking about the money. He wanted to talk to his mom about it, but decided not to. After all, if he brought her a dress, he wanted it to be a surprise. But even though Jamal was planning to buy gifts for his family, keeping the money still didn't seem quite right to him. "I know what I'll do. Tomorrow I'll see what Mr. Cleo thinks," Jamal decided. Mr. Cleo was 71 years old, and Jamal thought he was the smartest man in the world. Mr. Cleo was a good mentor. always taking time out from his job as a school janitor to answer Jamal's questions. Yep, Mr. Cleo will tell me what to do. He's real smart, Jamal said to himself as he fell asleep. So Jamal is thinking about his school mentor, Mr. Cleo, as he's falling asleep. And that's going to be an important theme that we talk about later, hopefully. As soon as Jamal got to school the next day, he started to look for Mr. Cleo. He only had a few minutes to find him before the bell rang. Jamal looked up and down every hallway for Mr. Cleo. With only one hallway left, he began to wonder if he would find him. Then he spotted Mr. Cleo coming out of the school library. So right there, as we can see, he finally is able to catch up with Mr. Cleo. Let's see what he had to tell him. Mr. Cleo, Jamal shouted, running down the hall. I've been looking all over for you, Mr. Cleo. I have a problem. Well, actually, I have some good luck. See, I was walking home yesterday on... Whoa. Good morning to you, Jamal, Mr. Cleo responded, cutting him off. Quickly to the young people. First say good morning or good evening to people, especially the older generation, because that's a sign of respect. So Mr. Cleo cut him off. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Cleo. Good morning. Like I said, I was walking home yesterday on Green Street and I found some money lying on the sidewalk. I want to keep it and buy something for my mama and my little sister and brothers, but it doesn't feel right. What should I do? Well, young man, when you say it don't feel right, you're talking about your conscience. It's that thing that we have inside of us that tells us right from wrong. I remember the old saying, finders keepers, losers weepers. That meant that it was okay to keep whatever you found, but that was wrong. Jamal, what if you had lost the money? Would you want it to be returned to you? What if it was your mama's money? Would you want it to be returned to her? Yes, sir, Jamal confessed, dropping his head. Now, son, there's no reason to hold your head down. Hold your head up. Just then the bell rang. Mr. Cleo patted Jamal on the back. Just do the right thing, Jamal, he said. Yes, sir, Mr. Cleo, mumbled Jamal as he turned back to walk towards his homeroom. So as we see here, the conversation between Mr. Cleo and Jamal. That afternoon, as Jamal left school, he was still wondering what to do. Over and over in his mind, he could hear Mr. Cleo saying, just do the right thing, Jamal. Just do the right thing, Jamal. Just do the right thing, Jamal. Then all of a sudden, he had an idea. He decided to go back to the place where he had found the money to see if the envelope was still there. Maybe that would help him discover whose money it was. And that's Jamal just still walking, thinking and wondering what he should do. He walked back to the place where he had found the money. Sure enough, after looking for a while, Jamal spotted the envelope. On one side it read, Citizens Power and Light. On the other side it read, Sadie B. Wilson, 312 Green Street, $158. So as you guys can see, Miss Sadie's envelope there, and then the description that was on the other side of it. Suddenly, Jamal knew the right thing to do. He had to return the money to its owner. He looked up, and to his surprise, he was almost exactly in front of 312 Green Street. Jamal took a deep breath and made up his mind to go to the door. He rang the doorbell, but no one answered. He rang it a second time and then knocked. Still, no one answered. Jamal decided that no one was home and started to walk away. When Jamal reached the end of the walkway, he heard someone say, May I help you, young man? He spun around and saw an elderly lady sitting in a wheelchair. Yes, ma'am, Jamal nervously replied. He glanced down at the envelope. I'm looking for Miss Sadie B. Wilson, he said. Well, you just found her, the lady said in a friendly voice. What can I do for you? Well, Jamal stuttered, unsure of what to say. I found something that I think belongs to you. He handed her the money and then the envelope. Right here, we can see Jamal. He was there knocking at the door, and finally, Miss Sadie, this beautiful lady, came to the door. Young man, bless your heart, exclaimed Miss Sadie. I was on the way to pay my light bill yesterday and somehow lost this money. I guess it happened as I was getting into my neighbor's car. Come on in, young man. Bless your heart. What's your name? Who are your folks? Where do you live? Asked Miss Sadie. As Jamal answered one question after another, Miss Sadie insisted on giving him a snack. It looked like a huge cookie. Wow, that's a big cookie, said Jamal. That's not a cookie, Jamal, Miss Sadie replied. That's a tea cake. Have you ever had one before? No, ma'am, expressed Jamal. He carefully but eagerly inspected the tea cake before taking a big bite. So we can see Jamal getting ready to take a big bite of that tea cake. Jamal, I'm so happy you returned the money, Miss Sadie said. Many people would not have done this. I'm so happy. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't brought it to me. There's no way I could have paid my light bill. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Miss Sadie, remarked Jamal with a big smile on his face. It didn't take you long to eat that tea cake. Do you want another, Jamal? Yes, ma'am, answered Jamal. They're good. And as you guys can see, Miss Sadie and Jamal are sitting there having a good old conversation, and he's about to get himself some more tea cake. I used to be a school teacher. I retired 23 years ago, said Miss Sadie as she gave Jamal another tea cake. My husband passed away 12 years ago. Do you have any family? Jamal asked with concern. Yes. I have 3 lovely children, 2 boys and a girl. They're all grown now with their own families. We talk a lot, but they live a long way from here. After Jamal finished his second tea cake, he said, I must be going, Miss Sadie. Thank you for the tea cakes. Well, thank you for finding and returning my money, Jamal. You are a good young man. You stay that way, okay? Said Miss Sadie. I will, replied Jamal. You'll have to come by and see me again, Jamal. I bake tea cakes all the time, Miss Sadie urged. Oh, I will, Miss Sadie. I'll come back, Jamal replied. Jamal left Miss Sadie's home feeling very good about himself. He knew he had done the right thing, and he liked the way that it felt. Jamal was feeling really, really good about himself, returning Miss Sadie's money. That evening, Jamal told his mother, little sister, and brothers about finding and returning the money. They were all proud of him. When his mother came to his room to tuck him into bed, she said, Jamal, I just want to tell you again how proud I am of you and the choice you made. She kissed him on his forehead. Miss Sadie wrote a letter to the principal at Jamal's school telling him about Jamal finding and returning the money and how happy it made her. Jamal was in the school newspaper and everyone called him a hero. Jamal is a hero. And that's the end of the story, you guys. Jamal's lucky day.
That was great. That was a wonderful story. Jewels in that one, definitely. A great one to read to our young ones. We know that integrity is so important to have as a human being, and it matters when you're talking about building community and all the things that we want to see for ourselves and for our young people. So instilling these values at a young age is extremely important. So we're glad that Jamal did the right thing. Trinity, 3 times dope. What did you think about the story?
I loved it because not a lot of kids know that doing the right thing can have its benefits. Like if Jamal had took that money, that would have been very not bad, but that would have been very untrustworthy of him. And the way I feel like Paul, it's just a lot going on. That I just like the way that he was
That he made the right decision. Yes,
there it goes.
Yeah. What about you, Professor Q? What did you think about that story?
I like that. Trinity had to hit the Paul real quick. She said, but I liked it because one, it really brought it back because I haven't heard that term, finders, keepers, losers, weepers in a while. And in elementary school, you live by that. And so I really liked it. I liked how Jamal came. Right. And so I liked how Jamal he came to the final conclusion. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the right thing, and it made him feel good afterwards, and it helped the lady out, and everybody kind of win that thing.
Definitely. Yes. Again, a wonderful lesson for our young people. First off, I like that his name was Jamal. Okay, so that part right there was great. And then just getting into the story, and then we find out when he did make an effort to give that money back, who it was affecting, and what possibly could have happened had he not made that decision. So, it's important that even when it's not always convenient or the thing that we want to do, that we do what is the right thing when it comes to how we interact with others. So let's see here. We're going to grab up some of these comments. I had there's a reason why I had the hesitation in what I was saying right there, but I'm not going to get into all of that. So we have Glow here who said he's watching on YouTube. Hey, make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed. And we have Eric, who is Professor Q's father. He says he hadn't heard the term tea cake in years. His grandmother made the best tea cakes. I've never had one. I've never had it. I need to change that. We have Miss Rosa who said sharing, and Shania said Jamal did the right thing. And then Eric again said, great story, teaching kids the value of doing the right thing. Yes, that's what Mr. Selassie came here to do. Miss Joe said, what a beautiful, inspiring story. One all children need to hear. It always feels good when people do the right thing. And Miss Rosa says, making the right decisions aren't always easy, but it is necessary. And then we have Miss Portia here. Glad to see our theme song creator. So again, thank you so much, Ron, for coming and reading this story. Who is the author again?
The author again is Robert Little, and the illustrator is Audrey Fitzpatrick. Two wonderful African-American individuals that came through and just told and illustrated a beautiful story. Okay,
are they based in Alabama?
I don't remember exactly where they are from, but I mean, I'm sure one could, Google or Amazon the book and find out, how to purchase it and things of that nature.
Okay, great. And was there anything else that you would like to share with us before you leave us?
You're asking me?
I'm asking you.
Of course. So, no, seriously, I mean, this book to me has so many powerful themes. Again, I love in the beginning, even Mr. Cleo, I think it showed the importance of mentorship. Any young Black men that are out there, whether it's a father, grandfather, preacher, uncle, whoever it is, you need a mentor in your life. I can't say enough about the African-American mentors, of Black men mentors that have been impactful in my own life and that have helped raise me to be the man that I am today. So I love that Jamal, even at a young age, recognized that mentorship can take him to greater levels and greater heights. And in this case, especially dealing with our community, because there are so many things that oftentimes can become repercussions without us even knowing about it. And although Jamal, he was selfish at first, and then he thought about taking care of his family. And I know sometimes we get in positions to where we don't know what to do, or, oh, I don't know, I have to sell this dope, or I have to do these things. Well, no, Jamal didn't make that choice. He didn't put this money and try to get a bird, or he didn't take this money and try to do something crazy. He took it and said, you know what? I'm going to give it back to somebody who really needs it. That turned out to be a modern day ancestor in his community that had taught children just like Jamal for 23 years. 23 years she gave her blood, sweat, and tears. And for him to give that back to her, she didn't even know how she was going to pay her light bill. It just made a beautiful story about our village that I really, really hope and stress that I want us to get back to as a Black community. So it had many things for me that touched me deeply. And again, I too like that his name was Jamal. But again, I think this brother and this sister, they told a wonderful story, and I encourage anybody to read it.
Excellent breakdown of the story. And as you mentioned with mentorship, I want to, speak to Black men about the importance of becoming a mentor. Like you said, for young boys to seek out mentors. But, my book, I don't think I've discussed my book up here on the Virtual Village, but my book is all about calling on Black men to be mentors to our youth. So definitely, if you are a Black man, there are a lot of boys out here who could use your mentorship. And that does not mean that you have to make a whole bunch of money, that you have to be wearing all the name brand clothes, but that you can be present, that you can be at your best and pour consistency, love, and teach various life skills and into our youth. That in and of itself makes a big, big difference. So thank you again, Sayram. Thanks so much for coming up here to share this story. And before you go, y'all know what I got to do, right?
Gotta initiate them.
Gotta initiate them. So I want to let you know that you are officially a member of our literacy gang. All right. You are in the gang, and our gang is founded on a love of literacy, culture, community, and an overall love for each other. So you are in this game. You cannot escape this game. That means you cannot escape this love. You can come back up here anytime. Gang, well, see, we already show them what it is, y'all. What it is. Virtual Village. Okay. So you can come back up here anytime and read, or you can tune in, but you are a part of this gang. So everybody here is going to show you love from here on out. Okay.
Great. Thank you, guys. I really enjoyed it.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful evening.
All right. You too.
Thanks. All right. So, yeah, that was really a great story. Jamal and his dilemma. I'm going to go up here and grab some comments again. So Eric says, Miss Star, you never had a tea cake. You sure you're from Alabama? I've had some cornbread, collard greens, and black eyed peas. I had that. I know that much. I've had pot liquor. So don't test my southernness, okay? Have you had pot liquor? Okay. Portia says, excellent reading tonight, sir. Much appreciation. And she says, mentorship can take you to greater levels and greater heights. I love that. And then Miss Rosa says, great point. We need more mentoring of our young Black men, our young women as well. Yes, both. Let's not leave either out. All of our babies are important. And Shania, welcome Sayram to the literacy gang. And Ms. Rosa said, initiate it. That's how we do around these parts, family. No doubt. Yes, we appreciate that, backing up that initiation. We hope you all, the Virtual Village family, are doing well wherever you are. I know that a lot has been going on. So again, we hope everybody is in good spirits, doing well, and communication with the people you love. Some of us have not been able to see people because of what's been going on. But in the midst of it all, hope that our spirits are up and that we are playing the part that we need to play, that we've always been playing that part. And if we've been a little off the square, then we hop right back on it and do the work that needs to be done. So now who's up? Who's our next reader for the night?
Our next reader. I'll let 3 times Dope get it. I'll let 3 times Dope get it. She can read next.
Okay.
Okay. 3 times Dope is next. Let me grab this comment from your uncle. He said, "Pot liquor, I'm official." My granny, okay? My granny put me on to that. I haven't had it in a long time, but now I need to go and do that. I don't mind when my food touches. So, all right. So we have 3 times Dope. She's about to read for us. What are you about to read tonight, young lady?
Tonight I'm reading Coretta Scott.
Okay. Wonderful. I can tell we're about to be in for a treat with the illustration alone. Jeez, show that cover again. All right. Okay. Well, then Professor Q and I are going to step away and we're going to let you guys do your thing. We'll let you do your thing. All right.
Okay. Coretta Scott by Kadir Nelson. Did I miss something? Okay. Some southern mornings, the moon sits like an orange, silver by the treetops. Coretta and her siblings walked all the 5 miles to the nearest colored school in the darkness, and the dew dampening their feet. White school bus left a funnel of dust on their faces, with songs and birds of all colors. And rich soil where slaves sought freedom steadied them in the face of danger. Over years, learning and freedom took hold of Coretta's soul, till she knew in her being that the good Lord intended freedom for the Negro. Martin Luther King Jr., a young preacher, prayed for freedom. Coretta prayed 2 minds attracted in prayer. Yes, they could do something among the many who thought moral power would overturn Jim Crow. They prayed together, found joy, and were married. According to Gandhi, the humility of millions could free more than just one people. It could free the world, and the world for Coretta and Martin was the South, and they went to Montgomery to their new parish. Okay. Oof. More boycotts and sit-ins for many Negro students felt bound to do something. There were hundreds and thousands left behind. Negroes in shacks and cotton fields, living in fear for their lives while they dreamed about the North. Hundreds and thousands, white and black, marched in Alabama, Carolina, Georgia, and Chicago. A 250,000 at the March on Washington, peacefully singing "We Shall Overcome" and listening to the words that would inspire a nation. Things nature never intended a child to see haunted them. Tragedy accompanies the growth, no matter who we are, and the Negroes are no different. But fervor, fervor for the coming vote and equality pushed Coretta to a peace and wonderment of the Lord. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Gonna keep on walking, gonna keep on talking, walking up to the freedom land. Singing, always singing. The end.
All right. Well, that was a nice one. And you said that's Kadir Nelson.
Yes.
Yeah,
Paintings by Kadir Nelson.
Yeah, his illustration is always great. I'm always loving the Kadir books. Whoa, so what did you think of the story? What do you have to say about it? Did you learn anything or feel inspired?
Yes, I did, because it's very relevant to what's going on today with the protests and the marches and everything that's going on. I just felt it was, something to add on that was inspiring.
A very well thought out selection you have there. Yeah, and what did you think of it, Professor?
I liked it. I especially liked the part when they had that little "Don't let nobody turn me around, turn me." Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't sing, but I just always liked hearing that during the protest, how they would sing that. I enjoyed the book overall.
Yes, you did a great job reading Trinity 3 Times Dope. Yes, you did. That was wonderful. We always enjoyed, and Q likes the chanting. And during that time, those songs that our people sang were not just for the sake of singing. It was to keep people. It's funny, I was just listening to a documentary initially about Fannie Lou Hamer, and then I was listening to an actual Fannie Lou Hamer speech while I was working before I got up here. And they were talking about how when they were on one of the freedom rides to go and register to vote in Mississippi, that everybody was really nervous because the bus that they were on was being encircled by a bunch of white men with guns and who were there to incite violence. And they didn't know what was going to possibly happen to them. And all of a sudden, Fannie Lou Hamer just, belted out in a song, and that it helped to calm the mood of everybody and to get them back on task and understand the sense of purpose that they had. Because, none of us can imagine exactly what that experience was like that they had. So the bravery and the song was a grounding thing for us. It was a source of boldness, and it was a source of unity. You go back further, and it was a source of communication, a lot of times of covert communication. But those songs mean a lot to us. So I understand your appreciation of that. I'm going to go back up here and grab some comments real quickly, and then we're going to have one more story, you guys. So I got to bring this one back. Eric Q's father said, "Okay, Q, hold me to it. When I get to Louisiana, make sure I start mentoring young men who need a strong male figure to look up to. I'm going to hold you to it as well." All right. And then that is wonderful, though. And then we have Morgan, who says, "Thank you to Trinity." And then we have Eric again, who says, "Great book, great reader." And we got the parents up here tonight, the people responsible for these wonderful influencers. I got them, and I get to, pour things into them and love on them and get to help them go to their next step in life. But these are the people who nurtured them and have birthed them and got them here from day one. So we got dad of Q and mom of Kalia up here. So glad to see you all. And she said, "Perfect book to you, Trinity." And she also said songs were a source of communication. Yes, yes. So it's a lot to that. And our connection as a community to music, it's more than just liking a beat. There is something, we have used music in a lot of ways that have advanced our community, and we create music that advances our community and the world. Morgan says, our future leaders' strength. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. They are wonderful, aren't they? Morgan, I don't know if you've seen them on Wednesdays, but you need to check them out when they do their own show. And I'm not even up here. They rock it. They do their own thing on Wednesdays. So we have one more story coming tonight from Professor Q.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to step away 3 times. We're going to step back and let the professor do his thing. All right.
Hey everybody, I got a book by Kenji L. Jackson called Father to Son, Caden Faces His Fears, and I will get started. Caden gets a haircut. It's a wonderful Saturday morning with blue skies and sunshine. Dad is taking Caden to the barber shop for the very first time. After a short wait, the time has come to sit in the barber's chair. The owner, Mr. Shakur, is going to cut Caden's hair. Caden takes a seat, and Mr. Shakur is ready to start. He turns on the clippers, and things quickly fall apart. Caden grows very afraid and suddenly begins to cry. His dad is right by his side and think he knows why. Dad asks, "What's wrong, son?" as Caden's tears wet his shirt. Caden says, "That thing is noisy and I know it's going to hurt." Mr. Shakur replies, "These clippers won't hurt, and don't worry about the noise. The sound let me know the clippers are working. Just like sounds do with your toys." Mr. Shakur hands Caden the clippers to hold and feel. Caden calms down and happily says, "These clippers are no big deal." Dad pats Caden on the back, and Caden sits big and tall. Mr. Shakur continues cutting his hair, and it doesn't hurt even at all. Not at all. Caden's haircut is finally finished. No pain and worries. He climbs out of the chair and heads to the mirror. Caden is all smiles and excitedly thanks his dad and Mr. Shakur. He really likes his new haircut and isn't afraid anymore. Caden goes to a new school. After 1 year at his school, Caden is in for a big change. His family is moving to a new area out of his school range. Caden likes his teachers, the principal, and has made a lot of friends. Now that he is moving, Caden will have to start all over again. Caden is sad and angry, not sure what he should think or do. His dad understands because he is nervous about moving too. The truck is packed and ready to go. Today's the day. Caden and his family get in the truck and head for a town far away. During the drive, Caden looks out the window and hasn't said a word. Dad says, "Son, your new teacher and classmates are nice, and that's what I've heard." "How am I going to make new friends?" Caden asked. His face is draped with a frown. Dad exclaims, "I'm sure there are plenty of cool kids at your school or and around town." Ooh. The day has finally arrived. The first day of school is here. Caden's dad takes him to class, easing his worries so he can face his fear. The teacher, Miss Wilson, introduces him, and the students shout, "Welcome to our class." Caden says hello to everyone, but he is nervous and just wants the day to pass. Dad hugs Caden and wishes him good luck as he takes a seat to begin his day. Mrs. Wilson checks in on him from time to time to make sure he is okay. When lunch comes, Caden sits by himself, listening to the music because the cafeteria is very loud. Then some of his classmates join him at his table to make him feel like he's a part of the crowd. Caden's first day is finally over, and he feels much better about his new school. He can't wait to tell his parents that his teacher is awesome and his classmates are cool. Dad knows every day will not be perfect, but having a great first day is a start. Caden is excited about his classmates and learning too, so he can become smart. Caden gets on an airplane. It is finally that time of the year, and everyone is filled with anticipation. Dad is taking Caden and the family on a summer vacation. They're flying to Florida, and summer is here. It's the perfect season. Everyone is excited but Caden, and for a very good reason. Caden sadly asks, "Why can't we drive the car instead of, or take a train?" Dad replies, "Son, it is so much cooler and faster if we fly by plane." Dad helps Caden finish packing his suitcase, but all Caden does is worry. Mom shouts, "Come downstairs with your bags. We're late. We have to hurry." During the drive to the airport, Dad tries to make Caden feel better. Dad says, "Don't worry, Caden. The flight will be fun, and we'll sit all together." Caden and his family park at the airport, check in, board the plane, and take their seats. Miss Lopez, the flight attendant, greets Caden with a smile and gives him a treat. By the looks of the worry on Caden's face, Miss Lopez knows exactly what to say. She exclaims, "The first time I flew, I was very afraid, but now I love flying every day." Miss Lopez takes Caden and his dad to go meet the pilot and some of her friends. Caden begins to feel much better about flying and has a smile on his face again. All of the passengers are buckled in, and it's time for the plane to take to the sky. Caden feels a huge tickle in his tummy as the plane takes off and it begins to fly. Now, the plane is coasting smoothly as it passes through a few big clouds. Caden is happily looking out the window, and his family feels proud. After hours of flying, Caden's fears are erased, and the plane is successfully landed. Caden hugs Miss Lopez and begins telling her about all his plans. Dad thanks Miss Lopez for helping and gives a high five to his awesome son. Caden showed how brave he is, and now it thinks flying is fun. Caden goes swimming. The summer is almost over, and the day of family fun is finally here. Uncle Dwight is having a big pool party, which he hosts every year. Caden loves to dance and play, and he thinks the fireworks are cool. However, he's definitely not looking forward to getting in the pool. Last year, Caden dipped his feet in, but he was too afraid to get in and join the fun. This time, Caden wants to try to swim, even though it is something he has never done. While walking to the party, Caden tells his dad that he didn't have much fun last year. Dad says, "I will not let anything happen to you, son, so you have nothing to fear." They finally arrive, and Caden sees his cousin Kason and Kai in the yard running around. Cousins Ariel and Matthew are also here. They came from out of town. The summer is almost over, and a day of family fun is almost here. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading the same page. After a game of tag and dancing, the kids get in the pool to swim and play. Ariel asks Kaden, "Are you getting in the pool to have some fun with us today?" Kaden replies nervously, "I don't know how to swim, but I'm going to try." Dad says, "Stay away from the deep end and put this life jacket on. You'll be fine." With his dad by his side, Kaden enters the pool and the other kids begin cheering him on. The water is cold, but Kaden is determined to have fun and make sure his fear is gone. Kaden is wearing a life jacket which helps him stay safely above water and swim. Dad is excited and anxious to show Kaden how to swim and the way his dad taught him. Kaden nervously lies across Dad's arm, and Dad shouts, "Kaden, kick your feet!" With a little bit of help from his dad, Kaden is swimming and exclaims, "This is neat." The rest of the day, Kaden and his cousins play in the pool and eat a lot of great foods. There are no more worries for Kaden. He is in a fantastic mood. Dad is proud of his son, and Kaden cannot wait until the pool party next year. Kaden even wants to take swimming lessons so he can be a great swimmer without any fear. Kaden has a bad dream. It is 1 o'clock in the morning and Kaden is tossing and turning in his sleep. He is having a really bad dream and suddenly wakes up and begins to weep. It is quiet, but Kaden thinks there's a hungry monster in his closet looking to be fed. He quickly runs down the hallway and gets in his big sister's room and jumps on her bed. "Alexia, get up!" Kaden frantically whispers as he pushes and shoves her. Alexia awakens, confused, and says, "Get out of my room. Go to sleep, little brother." Kaden says, "There is a hungry monster in my closet. Can I sleep by you?" Looking surprised, Alexia says, "A hungry monster in your closet? That isn't true." Alexia gets out of bed, taking Kaden by the hand, and they go down the hall. She walks with Kaden into his room to help him face his fears once and for all. Alexia walks boldly towards his closet. Kaden nervously follows behind her. Alexia opens the closet door and says, "See, Kaden, no monsters of any kind. You must have dreamt about them and woke up, thinking they were real." Alexia continues, "I used to have bad dreams too. So now I know exactly how you feel." After thanking his sister for her help, Kaden gives her a hug and squeezes her tight. Kaden knows his room is safe and gets in bed and turns off the lights. The next morning, on the way to school, Kaden tells his dad all about last night. Kaden says, "I had a bad dream and was scared, but Alexa made everything all right." Kaden feels better about sleeping in his room and knows monsters are not real. Kaden knows to sleep with no fears, and his dad thinks that's a pretty big deal. And that is the end of the book. Thank you guys for tuning in. I enjoyed this, getting over his fears and how the entire family helped out.
Yes, that was great, Q. You did a wonderful job, and we enjoyed learning about Kaden getting over his fears, and that actually got to meet that author at it was an African American children's book fair in Baltimore at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum. That experience was great. And that's where I purchased the book from, and able to meet a bunch of Black authors, Black children's book authors there. So Let me see. We had Glow here who says he's just here for the articulation. Never mind me, carry on. So that's a compliment to you. And then your dad said, this book has motivated me to take you to the barber for your first haircut. A little time hop there. I don't think he'll let you touch that hair up there. I think that'll be a tussle at this point. And then he says, hey, sport, I hope you have a great first day in college. My little sport growing up. He says to your uncle, I said I wasn't going to cry. Oh, you're going to cry. We all going to cry. Oh, man. But I know this has to be an exciting time for you all the parents of the seniors right now. Exciting, a little scary, all different things. That let's acknowledge the parents of seniors and how they are feeling right now and what they are going through. Let's see. Great read, nephew. And Shania says that was great, Professor Q. So yeah, you did a great job, and thank you all for tuning in and for the love that you keep in the comment section. That was a wonderful, relatable story. And seriously, for the parents who are experiencing their children going away, you guys have worked hard and all these bonds and memories and everything. And now your babies, they're little grown folks and they're getting ready to go off on their own. But just know that everything that you have instilled into them, they will carry with them. And they have new villagers who love them and who, they can use those lifelines as they need them. And let's just make sure all of us as virtual villagers that we are practicing being active villagers all the time. That helps to make parents feel a lot better when they know they got to send their children away, when they know that other people are going to be looking out for them. Yes. So do you guys, before we're gonna go ahead and get out of here quickly, but do y'all have any things that y'all want to say before we head out?
I just want to say thank you for your friend for coming on and reading. Thank you for everybody in the comments. We love you all. Thank you for all the support. And Professor Q, do you have anything to say?
I just want to remind you guys to make sure you get the merch, get our shirts and t-shirts. Thank you. Make sure you get them. This is our last week we are selling, and then next week we'll be shipping out. We got the logo right here, Virtual Village, the Literacy Gang, Literacy Culture Community, and then COVID Can't Stop Us 2020 limited edition. And then we have it also in black. So just make sure you guys get that. We are excited. Get it. Tell your friends about it. Tell your family about it. Spread the word, please. Thank you for joining us today for a great day of culturally affirming literature, and we hope to see you tomorrow.
That was excellent. I believe Professor Q said it all. So on that note, you all have a wonderful evening, and you know that we're going to do this again tomorrow, the same time, the same place, with some more excellent readers coming up here. And also, you guys, every Monday I find out about what the influencer show is going to be about on Wednesday. And I want to tell you, you guys don't want to miss this one. You don't want to miss this one. If you're anything like me, you pull up and you got your snack and you are ready. You are ready at 7 p.m. because you know that's the best show to tune into. So, all right, family, again, y'all be safe. Make sure that we are active. We are not active when it is convenient. We are active all the time. So whether you are new joining in and you are experiencing a new awakening, make sure that commitment is there. And if you have been on this path for a while, then don't be weary. Let's keep going. Let's keep making this impact, and let's work together. And it's culturally affirming literature. You are part of this village, so it needs to be a thing. I'm going to start asking you guys, what books do you have ready for the summer? Whether you're reading them with the children in your lives or whether you're purchasing them to give away to some children in your lives, we're going to talk about it. What's in your collection? All right. I'm going to be asking. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll be back tomorrow. Peace.
Look, mommy, community in action. What on my little sound of that? Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. What on my little sound of that? Creative, affirming, and culture for me too. Look, granny, let us sound of that. Look, Granny, and let the sound of that. Look, Granny, and let the sound of that. Learning and exploring about history, you see. Look, Mommy, and let the sound of that. We confident, we practice and develop fluency. Look, Daddy, and let the sound of that. Families, they bonding, they representing me. Look, Granny, and let the sound of that. Look, I'm here, let the sound of that. Nice, I see, let the sound of that.
So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while we represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers and leaders, they hold it down where they have to sit. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while you represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers and leaders, they hold it down, yeah, they have to sit.
Look, Mommy, community in action. Well, oh my, let the sound of that. Look, Daddy, there's a book for me too. Well, oh my, let the sound of that.